So first, let's review the blocks we learned in the last course. Here is practice for you. If any of the two doors of the house is opened, let the default indoor siren in the hallway ring. It's very simple. If any of the two doors of the house is opened, so the condition is if any of the two doors is open, right? And action is let the siren ring. Okay, you can take out your phone to have a try, but also you can listen to me. All fine. And here, what blocks should we use? First, let's see the condition. The any of the two doors is a logic operation block. Any. Or block. This door or the other door is open. You use or block. And open, to define a change, we need to use Boolean block. Boolean block is very common. And we talked about Boolean block a lot in the last course. Action, let the siren ring, is also very simple. Just to perform some simple action, we need to use device control. Do you need me to operate for you or not? I can create this AIB now. If there's anyone who need it, you can hand up or just say yes in the chat box. Because in this difficult course, there's only a few people to take part in. So if only one person needed me to operate for you, I will do that. Anyone? If no one, we will move to the next part. Okay, we move to the next part. This is almost the same with the one before. If any of the two doors of the house is opened, that's the siren in the hallway ring. The only thing different is that I add a condition here, when you are sleeping. So how to define when you are sleeping? What should we do? This, I just want to show you the way to think it. It's the way to think this condition. So the sleeping, the most simple way to define it is that I set a time. For example, I usually sleep at 1 a.m. and wake up at 9 a.m. in the working days. So 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. is my sleeping time. So I can set this time is equal to when you are sleeping. And I can use a block named time limit to control this time. This is most common way. Also, you can use a cube clicker. For example, when I want to sleep, I click it, and it means that I want to sleep, and I will go to sleep. And cube clicker is much difficult, much complex than the one defined by time. Of course, you need to use 2 AIB templates. Okay, I just want to show you. No need to operate because we haven't learned that before. And about today's course, how many AIB blocks should we know? It's an overview. And you can see a lot of blocks in LifeSmart App. Here is a list. I just take some snapshots. The variables block, there are eight variables block, and there are 16 function blocks and 17 logic operation blocks and 4 action blocks, and also 3 process blocks. You may see that there are lots of blocks and you may think it's terrible, but don't worry. Some of them we don't need to learn that, and I want to do make it simple for you. First, the black ones. These black blocks are some really used blocks, so we will not talk about this block here in the course, and most of you will not use them in the daily life. So this, we will not learn that. And you can see there are become less, right? It becomes less. And during these white parts, you can see there are only 26 remained. 26 remain. They are what we need to know. And during these 26, there are several we have learned before in the last class, the green part. So what's left is only this sum. And it's also quite a number, right? So I divide into two parts. We will talk about function blocks and action blocks, this yellow one, in today's course. But learn this logic operation block, these five blocks in the next course. So in today's course, we will learn about 11 blocks in total, 11 blocks. And let's move to it. So everyone, take out your phone. You need to create the AIB step by step with me together. Take out your phone, okay? You just listen, you will not able to learn that. And as long as you have already taken part in this course, you need to learn something, right? So we want to create an empty template, right? Create by empty template. And choose a smart station. I think most of you have opened the AIB service for you, right? But if any of you haven't opened the AIB service, you will not be able to open this function. If you are one of it, you can send your ID to me. This ID, send this ID to the chat box. I will open it for you. Send your ID to the chat box. I will open it for you. Okay. Let's continue. Create by empty AI template. Choose a smart station and name it. Okay. I have already created some. Okay. First, the calendar trigger. Okay, it's an empty map, right? Move to the map from this graphic edit. Okay, I will let my partner to open it for you. Wait a moment. Okay, we will open that for you soon. First, from the graphic edit, I will continue, okay? Graphic edit. And let us find the calendar trigger first. Click here, this button, and find the function block, and the first one, calendar trigger. Click it. And you can see such a block. And the function of this block is that if this block is enabled from this EN, and it reaches the specific time point, it will trigger the next action. And the EN, usually we will not use it, this port. If you want to use it, that if input 1 here, it will enable this block. If input 0, it will disable this block. The function of EN is like this. And for example, you may not able to know the meaning of these words, but here is an instance. For example, turn on all the lights at 8 a.m. in the working days. The 8 a.m. is the specific time point. Means do something at what time, So here, for example, turn on all the lights at 8 a.m. in the working days. Everyone have a try. 8 a.m. we set the time here, the date, click date, and click calendar. Okay, follow my step. Click calendar. And you can see the time and the date here. So 8 a.m. Okay, 8 a.m. And working days. My working day is from Monday to Tuesday. So I delete the Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Okay, the advanced settings, you do not need to set it. It's for the developers, not for the users. Okay. And save it. So it shows that Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock. Okay, to turn on output to turn on the light. Turn on the light, we will need to use device control, the most common block, device control. Am I too fast? If I'm too fast, you can tell me in the chat box. Click device control and save it. Here it is. And we first link it like this, output to trigger the next part. And we see that turn on all the lights, action, on or off, turn on, okay. And choose the light here, device, and click device. In the homework that you handed in the last course, I found that some of you did not set the format here. If you do not set, I will show you what will happen. If you do not set, when you choose from device, you can see all of the device belong your smart station comes out, and you need to find all the switches here. It's quite difficult for you, right? For example, this two is switch, and this three is switch, and this not like this. It's too complex, you know that. So I told you that you need to set the format before. Okay, follow my step. Set the format here in the settings. So if you want to turn on all the light, you may need to use switches and set the format here. Turn off the default format and choose switch. And here, the format. If there is anyone who remembers which one should we choose? MI, MOID, or MOIDS? Yes, thank you, Rudy. MOIDS. In the action block, we need to choose MOIDS. So in which kind of situation should we choose MI? In what kind of situation should we choose MI? In the what block? In the what block? Yes, in the variables block, and also in the condition block, actually. Variables block, like you can see the condition block, these three need to choose MI. Variables block, function block, and logic operation block. Logic operation block do not need to set the format, sorry. So only variables block and function block need to choose MI, okay. Okay, here is MOIDS. Okay, you can see here MOIDS. Okay, save it. And after you set the format, you can see the device all become the switches. You can see that all is switched, all are switches. So it's become much more easier for you, right? You don't need to find a switch from all of your devices. So here, back. For example, turn on all the lights, turn on holder switch, and this. I bring these two devices with me, so I can use these two. And here it is. Turn on all the lights at AM in the working days, and turn off. Also, a calendar trigger. Also set the time. 5 p.m. Click date and click calendar. And 5 p.m. Okay, 5 p.m. in the working days. And here it is. Okay, turn off all the lights, and also use device control. So we choose not turn on, but turn off. Turn off, okay, turn off. And link them and choose the device here. Switch, MOIDS, switch, MOIDS, and save it. And choose a device. Polar switch and dimmer switch, okay. So here it is, turn on and turn off. So if you can open the port to the home page, you can also do like this. Display on home. And these two ports can be displayed on the home. Okay, these are all the things I have taught in the last class, so I will not explain it in this class, okay? So if we open the display on the home, it will show like this. The calendar trigger date, I choose Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. And to device to turn on the polar switch, and also Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. to turn off the polar switch light. And I haven't changed the text here. You can also change the text. For example, here, to name it, like police choose devices to turn on. Okay. So you can see here, please choose device to be turned on. And here it is. Also, you can change this. Okay, any questions here? If any questions here? It's very simple, right? So I save it. And I will send all these AIBs. I will share it with you in the YouTube. I will send it in the YouTube, the comments, okay? Okay, time limit. Okay, the next calendar trigger. The next is time limit. So, okay, also a new AIB empty template. First, let's find the time limit. The second, time limit. Find it. And the time limit, it is used to realize that a certain function take effect in a certain period of time. For example, from 5 to 8 p.m., from what time to what time, okay? And if you set the time, the start time and end time the same, if you set them the same, it means that the whole day, okay? And to make sure that it cannot be used alone as a condition, otherwise it will cause the smart station stuck problem. I will explain it later, okay? The EN also will not use it usually. Here is an instance. For example, during 7 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. is off work time, right? If motion sensor detects, let the light on. During 7 o'clock p.m. So we set it. The start time is 7 o'clock p.m. Here, 7 o'clock p.m. In the working days, I set it off work. In the working days, okay. So from 7 o'clock p.m. to the end is 9 o'clock a.m. in the working days also. Here it is. Okay, during this time, if motion sensor detects, so motion sensor need to use Boolean, right? Boolean. So I choose a motion sensor. Let's just the format together just to review things we have learned. Okay, format, turn off. And the motion sensor need to choose from device IO, device or AI. So we choose device from device IO. Motion sensor here, motion sensor. And because it's a condition block, it's a variables block, so we choose MI. Sorry, MI. And save it and choose a device. For example, I choose this one. So detected. And how to link these two blocks? How to link these two blocks? Everyone knows? If there's anyone knows how to link these two blocks, use what block? Use a logic block, right? So which logic block? And or not? Which one? So during this time, if motion sensor detects to let the light on, so we need to satisfy both these two conditions, right? So we need to choose and. So if during this time, and also if motion sensor detects like this, and to let the light on, device control, and to link it. Okay, like this, time, motion sensor, and a device control. And here is to let the light on, so choose turn on, and choose the light and switch. I use switch instead on MOIDS, and choose the switch. For example, this one, and save it. Okay, here it is. If from Monday, if it is from 7 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. and also motion sensor detects, then output to trigger to turn on the light. Okay, it's very simple, right? Any questions? And this instance is right. And I want to give you a wrong instance, a counter example. That is, if I want to use this time limit to do that, turn on the light during 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., for example. I click it, I create a new one. Time limit. For example, from this one to this one. Okay. During this time, output to turn on the light, device control. I'll be quicker, okay. Anyone, okay. Like this, if I do like this, you may think there's no problem. I just wanted to control the light during this time, right? So where's the problem? Okay. Hi, Pedro. I will record this this meeting and we will upload it to YouTube. We will upload it to YouTube. Okay, you can see the replay on the YouTube. Hi, sir. Could you mute your micro? Okay, thank you. Okay, no problem. So let's back. Okay.
Moi aussi, j'ai mis encore.
Après, si c'est pas fermé.
Okay. So in this way, because that our smart station will will run the AIB, right? So if it is like this, it will output 1 here, right? Output to trigger it, and it will trigger this device control block all the way, all the time, right? And the time period is 1 per 1 second. It means that per 1 second, the smart station will send a request to this switch to tell it that turn on this switch. So it may make your smart station stuck if you run a lot of AI templates and also a lot of devices. So we suggest that not use in this way. And here is, I also said the reason here that during this period, it will output 1 to next block, which means that it will trigger to run on to turn on the switch all the time. Actually, not all the time, but 1 second per 1 second. So you can see that, for example, 2 o'clock and 1 second, 1 request, 1 minute, 60 request, and 1 o'clock, how many? 3,600 requests, right? So it may cause your smart station stuck. So try not to use like that. So I say that cannot be used alone as a condition. It must be another condition, like motion sensor detect is another condition. Okay, any questions here? Any questions here? Okay, let's continue. Next, the counter. The counter. Okay, the counter. Let's move to the counter. So also empty map. The counter is used to record the time of trigger signals. The time of trigger signals. Let's find it first. The counter here. And you can see a lot of port here. For example, EN. EN is also the same as the one before, and a trigger, and a threshold, and an output, and a count. Here is an instance. We will usually use like this. For example, cube clicker. Cube clicker, I can click it. I can click it once and twice, right? And third and fourth also, like this. So we can set it from counter block. For example, I want cube clicker if 2 click to turn on the light strip. If 2 click to turn on the light strip. So I can do like this. Here, set a cube clicker. So I set the format of cube clicker. Clicker sensor, its name is clicker sensor, and choose MI, and save it. And choose the clicker, this one, and pressed, one press. And the trigger, oh, sorry, it should be set here, sorry. And cube clicker pressed. Okay, pressed once, it will trigger this to count from 0. So I press once, it counts 1. It will show 1 in this port count here. And I can set the threshold. For example, if 2 click, so I set the number here as 2. So when it reaches 2 click, it will output to do the next step. Turn on the light strip. Okay, device control. Turn on. And the light strip. I did not bring the light strip with me, so let's use a switch instead to turn on the switch. Switch. Okay, use a switch. And to turn on is an action block, right? Turn on, it will be turned on, so it's an action block. So need to use MOIDS. And here, for example, any of the polar switch. Where? Oh, here. Okay. If to click, it will output to turn on the polar switch. And also you can see that there is a port we haven't used. It's reset. So reset, if we do not set the reset, it will count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, endless. Okay. So if you want it to click twice and the next time also twice, so you need to set the reset. Usually we will set reset like this, link the output to the reset. So when it output once, output 1, it means that it was triggered, and also it will trigger to reset the count. I will show you how it works. I run it and turn on the eye. So you can see that there's no click now. The count is no click. So I click once and I refresh it. Oh, the signal. Oh, not this one, sorry. This, if I click once, okay, it's become 1. Because 1 is less than 2, right? It is not reach the threshold, so will not trigger the next part. So if I click once again, okay. It's too fast. So it's reset too fast. So I didn't catch it. Once again, once and twice, and now it's twice, right? And actually now it already has been resetted, but I did not refresh the status. In this way, you can see it's 2. I click twice, right? And it reached the threshold, and it will trigger to turn on the switch, and it works. And also it will trigger to reset this block. And if I refresh it, you will see the function of reset. You see, it was reset to 0. Okay, this is the function of reset. Once again, okay, 1 click, and then refresh it. You can see one here, right? And the next, you can see 2, right? And if I refresh it again, yes, it is reset. Okay. Any questions here? One more example, okay? 3 click. So I use the same counter here, and also the, I can directly change it here. For example, I change it into 3. To 3. And when I click 3 times, it will turn on the polar switch. And let's see, save it first, and it will work. Okay, let's see the function. 1 click, okay, and twice. Okay, twice. If you refresh it, it's also twice. Okay, now I click the 3rd time. Okay, you can see it reached the 3rd time, and it will output 1. From 0 to 1, and to trigger this one, and also trigger to reset the block itself. If I refresh it, you can see it will become 0. Okay, this is a function of this block. Any questions? Okay, next block. The timer. First, create an empty AIB and find the timer. Find the timer here. Timer. Okay, it looks like this. And this one is used for timing after triggering. It will counting down in seconds. For example, and when the time exceeds the threshold, you can set the number here also, and it will become overlit and output one to trigger the next block. Okay, and an instance. For example, if motion sensor detects turn on the light, if motion sensor turn on the light, this is very simple, and we have taught it in the last week, in the last course, right? But if I want that, if no detection for 30 seconds, then turn off the light. If no detection for 30 seconds, then turn off the light. So let's do it together. If motion sensor detects turn on the light, very simple, everyone operate with me together, okay? If motion sensor detects, use a Boolean and turn on the light. Turn on the light, need to use, oh no, need to use a device control here and like this. If motion sensor detects and link it to turn on the light, and let's set the format. Motion sensor, and motion sensor, MI. And to do what? To turn on the light. So choose action as turn on, and choose a device as a light. And first set the format. For example, switch here. And it's a device control block, so need to use MOIDS and choose the device. Okay, here it is. If motion sensor detects, motion sensor detected, and to trigger to turn on the switch, right? Very simple. And if no detection, okay. If no detection, we need to use what block? Anyone who knows that? Everyone? Anyone knows? No detection. We need to use which one? Which one? Not block. Thank you, Rudy. Not block. In logic operation block, we need to use not, because no detection, right? It's very simple. No detection. So you need to use not. No detection. And no detection. Has detection, it will turn on. No detection, it will count down first. Count down. And for 30 seconds. So set the threshold as 30. 30. Okay. And it will count down for 30 seconds. And it will output, if it reaches 30 seconds, it will output to turn off the light. Turn off the light, also a device control. Turn off the light. Turn off the light. Light also need to set the format. Switch. Okay, MOIDS. Okay, and the light. The polar switch. Okay, here it is. If motion sensor detects, turn on. If no detects, for 30 seconds to turn off. Any questions? Any questions? So let's see the function together. See the function. Okay, I save it. So it works, right? Oh, I need to open it. Timer. Okay, run it. And let's see. So here now it has it's triggered this because it has a movement, detect a movement. So it now turn on the polar switch. This switch is turned on, and I need it to be no detection. Wait for a moment, because the motion sensor is here, so I need to keep silent for a moment. Wait for a moment. Okay, I need to set. Oh, I forgot it. Okay. Like this. Okay, like this. Oh, it's too slow. Wait for a moment. It's a bit funny. Okay, it works. Now there is no movement, right? No movement, and it will use a notch. It will trigger to count down 30 seconds. It's already 7 seconds here, and 25, and 27, and 28. Yes. Did you see? Did you hear that? It was turned off. I moved, so it was turned on again because I moved. Okay, so it will work like this. Any questions? Do you need, here's a question from Harris. Do you need to input something on the set? Oh, good notification. Thank you. Okay. Now I showed you the function of this block. Any questions? Any questions? Or you want to see it again? Okay, see it again. So now it's triggered because I moved just now. So it's triggered to turn on the switch. And if I keep silent for, I set the time as 12, I think, 12 seconds. I need to keep silent for 12 seconds. Wait for a moment. Okay, here it is. No detection and trigger to count down, right? It becomes 1 to trigger this block, and 30. Let's see. Okay, 15, 14. Sorry. Okay, 17. When it counts to 30, this port will become 1. Let's see. Okay, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay, I moved. Just now it was turned off and I moved, so it detects it. This one become 1, and it was turned on again. Okay, just like this. Can you also from Ola? I just called you Ola. Okay. From Ola, can you also send notification to the users? Oh, yes. For example, do you want to send notifications when it was triggered or not? When there is movement or not? For example, I think as a movement. Okay, so I can use send a message. I taught it in the last course. Okay, send a message like this, and I link it, and here it is. If there is a movement, it will send a message. For example, send a message to the users. These users, okay, and the sound. I did not set the sound, okay, and we can see the function together. For example, I'll save it, and the message you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, very simple. Can you also trigger the default alarm system? Okay. So I deleted it. What? Default alarm system. Which one? Default siren? Default siren? Do you want to use that? Could you tell me the device name, the name of the device? Which device do you want to use? For example, the fed siren, the fed indoor siren. What I mean is that if motion sensor detects movement, arms alarm system. Arms alarm system. We already have an alarm system, but not here, but not through AIB. Okay. What? Here, not AIB, but oh, it's English. Wait for a moment. So for example, I will show you, okay? We have an alarm system here in the setting, advanced settings, user preference, and a default message center. And you can turn it on. You can turn it on. If you turn it on, then you can set the motion sensor there and set it as an alarm device. And if it detects, you can arm the alarm system here. Okay, but I will not talk about this further in this class. Okay, if you have questions, you can send me an email for example. And okay, just use a siren. My partner will be scared by me if I say the siren. Okay, more ideas. Like this. This one. Where it is? Have a try. Okay. Did you hear that? It's outside. It has sound now. Can you hear that? Okay, I need to turn it off. Or my partner will kill me. Okay, okay. Wait for a moment. I need to turn it off. All devices. Weird. Okay, I turn it off. Okay, let's continue. Oh, you hear it. Okay. So next. Oh, no problem with this block, right? Timer. Any problem? Any question? We will continue. Okay. Okay. Next, the integer compare. The integer compare and the fuzzy compare. Two comparison blocks. And first, the integer compare. Here. Let's find it also in the function block. Okay. Okay, everyone hold on. We will have a little break in 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we will have a little break. Hold on, finish this block, okay? Integer block is used to compare two numbers and output to the corresponding port. Compare two numbers from for example, from environment sensor to compare the temperature or something like that. And the rule is that if input one, this one is bigger than the input two, then this block will output one from this port, will think it's greater. So output one from this block, and these two will remain 0. And if input one is less than input two, then it will output one from less port, And if equal, output one from equal port, okay? It will usually be used for some automatic constant temperature control of air conditioner and also the humidity control, okay? And here is an instance. If the environment temperature indoor is greater, oh, sorry. greater than the outdoor environment temperature. And turn on the air conditioner and set the mode to fan by spot. Okay, here is an instance. Let's do it together. So if environment temperature indoor, so I set here. You can set the environment temperature directly on the input, or so you can use a Boolean. Both works. Okay. For example, in usual way we will use a Boolean, and we set the environment sensor here. Okay, because we want to know is the temperature, right? So we choose temperature sensor, not environment sensor. Okay, not environment sensor, but temperature sensor. Temperature sensor. Okay, MI. And to choose the device. For example, defend motion sensor. Motion sensor also have the temperature, but it's not very correct than the environment sensor, because the motion sensor it's inside may have the working temperature. Okay, so we will just use environment sensor, cube environment sensor temperature. And oh yes, no, we should not use a Boolean. We should not use a Boolean here, because Boolean will have a temperature range. We need to directly set the input here. MI, it's quite difficult. This, okay, this, and then the input 2 is the outdoor environment sensor. Outdoor environment sensor. Also the temperature sensor. MI. And choose the device. Forget about this one. You can see if input 1 is greater than the input 2, it's greater, okay, greater. So from this port to link to turn on the air conditioner. Okay, turn on the air conditioner by spot. If we need to use the IR, the spot IR, then we should not use device control. We need to use device action. I will talk about it later. The device action, you can see that control camera IR and RGBW IR here. IR, so choose device action and the link the greater to trigger, and action is turn on the air conditioner. So do you see that? Click advanced command here, click command and click spot command. And to add IR action, first you need to choose a spot. Okay, choose spot Wi-Fi, for example, and air conditioner, anyone, and to turn on the air conditioner. Okay, turned on, and to set the mode to fan, fan here. Also, okay, auto fan. Okay, yes, and temperature you can set it or not. It's by you, depends on you. Okay, save it. Delay time, no delay time. So here it is. Auto is auto fan. Is auto fan. Let me check. Why there's no fan? Okay, just like that. Okay. Save it and choose the device, choose the spot. First set the format. Spot is in device here, spot, you can see spot, and choose MOIDS and choose the device, spot Wi-Fi. Okay, here it is. If environment temperature indoors is greater than the outdoors, then trigger to turn on the air conditioner and set to fan like this. The template is like this. Okay. So here is a question for you. The question is that if the temperature indoor here, if this one is 30.2 degrees and the temperature outdoor is 30.1 degrees, will it trigger the air conditioner or not? Everyone think about it. Will it trigger or not? And why? Will it trigger or not, and why? You can think about it, the name of this block. It's named integer compare. Integer compare. So will it trigger or not? Anyone? Anyone? Yes or not? Yes or not? Yes or not, everyone? Yes. Hi, Rudy. Thank you. It will not be triggered. And thank you, Ola. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bruce. It will not be triggered because it is integer. Because you can see the integer part. They are the same. It's 30, right? So when you use integer compare, it will only compare the integer part, the 30. So it compares 30 to 30, and it think they are the equal. They are equal, right? So the equal part will output 1, and these two will output 0. So will not trigger the air conditioner. So what shall we do in such kind of situation? What shall we do in such a kind of situation? If there is some point, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. So here comes the next, the fuzzy compare. Fuzzy compare. Usually we will use fuzzy compare most common than the integer compare because this one is more, how to say, useful. It can use everything like integer or not integer or a lot of other things. Okay. 10 minutes break. Okay, everyone, 10 minutes break. It's already 1 o'clock, so 10 minutes break until not until. Your time is different from mine. Okay, 10 minutes break, everyone. Okay, 10 minutes break. Okay, let's restart. Everyone come back, come back. We'll start the course, okay? Okay, continue. We talked about the integer compare just now and to the fuzzy compare. The fuzzy compare is, the difference is that this block will make a fuzzy comparison of these two input values. If the values are within the fuzzy value range, and these two values will be considered to be equal. Maybe a bit of hard to understand. I give you an instance here. If the input is 1 is 10, here is 10, and the input fuzzy compare. Okay, fuzzy compare. If the input here is 10 and the input 2 here is 12, and normally we will think that 12 is bigger than 10, right? But if I set the fuzzy value as 2 here, then we think they are equal. Have a try. If I set input as 12, set the input 2 as 10. Oh, okay, the same. And set the fuzzy as 2. If I set it like this, and for example, device control to turn on something, to turn on a switch. Okay, turn on a switch. So 12, 10, the fuzzy value is 2. So will it think it's equal or bigger? Let's see the results. If I think it's bigger and I link it to like this, and let's see the function. Integer compare, open it. And let's see. You can see this block think they are equal, right? The trigger is on the equal port. So that means that 12 and 10, there's the difference between 12 and 10 is 2, right? And 2 is within the fuzzy value, right? For example, I set here as 13, Then the 13, the difference between 13 and 10 is 3, right? 3. And 3 is not within the 2, the fuzzy value, right? So it will think in this 13 is bigger than 10. Let's have a try. Like this. You can see it's output 1 in the grid port. I don't know if you understand or not. If anyone has questions, if the difference is within the fuzzing value, then we think they are equal. If not, then bigger or less. And that if input 1 is bigger than input 2 over the fuzzy value, then this block will output 1 from grid port. Then we think input 1 is bigger than input 2. If input 1 is less than input 2 over the fuzzy value, for example, input 1 is 1 and input 2 is 10, then the difference is 9, right? 9 is bigger than fuzzy value 2. So it will output 1 from less port. Will it be difficult? Can you understand what I'm talking about? If the difference is within the fuzzy value, for example, 10 and 12, the difference is 2, right? 2 is within the fuzzy value 2. So we think they are equal. Do you understand? For example, in this situation, here is 13, right? Here is 10. If I want it to output 1 from the less port, from the last port. If I want here is 1, I want here is 1. What number should I set here? What number should I set here? What number should I set here? If I want last port to an output 1, what should I set in the input? Here, what should I set? Anyone? What should I set? Here, what should I set? I want it to output 1 in the last port. Okay, here's someone. 7. Yes, good. 7. Thank you, Harris. 7. If I set 7 here, so let's see the results together. I set 7 here. Okay, 7. And I save it. Let's see the function here. You can see here, the output 1 becomes less, right? Becomes less. So I, for example, I clear it and link it here. And I save it. So it will trigger to turn on something like this. So I just set the number here. It is better for you to understand. You can also set like environment sensor here, set the temperature, set the humid, like such thing. For example, I set the temperature like this. I set it here. Let me have a try. Temperature sensor. Okay, MI 1 and the device. You can see it becomes environment sensor, right? And this one also environment sensor. I operate very fast, okay? Follow my step. Like this. And choose one, this one. Okay, there are 2 different environment sensors, and I change the fuzzy number as, for example, 5. And let's see the function. Save it. And see. So the number here is 23.6, and the other one is 25.7. The difference is 1.9, right? 1.9. Oh, no. 2.1, sorry, 2.1. The difference is 2.1. Here, you can see the difference. And the 2.1 is within the fuzzy value 5, right? It's less than the fuzzy value 5. So we think they are equal. We think they are equal. You can see here is a trigger here. We think they are equal. Is it clear for you? Any questions? I know maybe it's very difficult for you. So if there's anyone who have questions, I can explain it again for you. And we can change the device here. Anyone have questions? Okay. Rudy, okay. Thank you, Rudy. What's the function of the reset? Okay, I think you have already know the function of this fuzzy, right? So after this, also in such kind of block, if there is a reset, usually we need to set it. So for example, I want it to be less and to trigger something. So I can set like this. Oh, it looks strange. So you can link the output with the reset, and the output depends on what kind of function do you want. For example, I want that the outdoor environment is less than the indoor environment, and the difference need to over 5. So I need to use less port, right? So in this kind of situation, you need to use less and link the less with reset. And for example, if I want to use grid great pot, for example. If, for example, I want to use great pot, so I link the great pot to the next step to trigger turn on something. And in this kind of situation, I need to also link the great to the reset like this. Okay. The pot you want to use needs to link to the reset. The pot you want to use need to link to the reset. Okay. 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 And as we just explained just now, it can input numbers with decimals like 30.2 degrees. You can see the numbers here. You can see there's a point, decimals. So actually we use fuzzy compare more than integer compare. We use fuzzy compare most. The integer compare will rarely used actually. When you need to use the normal compare, you can set the fuzzy, for example, as 1. So it will work as the same as the integer compare. Understand? Understand? Okay. So next part is delay on. Delay on. Delay on, it means that delay for a period of time and to turn on something. It was delayed on and we have a delay off later. So here it must be turned on something. Find it in the function block. Delay on. And it looks like this. En, also a en. And input, delay time. Delay time, you can set it. It works as what's the name? Threshold, sorry, threshold. The delay time works as threshold. So instance, if I am sleeping, when motion detects my movement, the function that is that I'm in the morning I'm still sleeping, and when I moved, it means that I'm going to wake up. And in this time, I need you to open the curtain in 120 seconds, in 2 minutes to open the curtain. Okay, this is the instance. And in this case, if I am sleeping, I just talked it before. If I am sleeping, need to use time limit, right? I am sleeping. Time limit. A time period, like start from which time to end from which time. So little questions. What time should we set here? I am sleeping. Should I set from like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m.? Is that right? For example, 9 p.m. 11 p.m. Okay, I usually sleep at this time. So this time, and to wake up at 9 o'clock. Okay. If I set like this, will it be okay? Will it be okay? What will happen? During this time period, when I moved, and the curtain will be opened after 2 minutes, what will happen? I set a notice here. It means that at midnight, if I moved and the curtain will be opened, it will be quite scared, okay? So the time period, you should not set the whole sleeping time period, but the time period that you are going to wake up. For example, you always wake up at 9 o'clock, for example. So I can set the time period into like 8:30. 8:30, from 8:30 to 8:30 to 9:10. During this period, if I move, which means that I am going to wake up, then output to output 1 to do what? To delay 112 seconds. 112 seconds. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. But here the it counts from seconds, so you need to translate it into seconds. 120. Count down 120 seconds to what? To output, to open the curtain. Open the curtain. And here you can set the curtain directly on the output. Like this output can work like a device control. You can set it directly on here. Find a curtain. Where? Oh, curtain. Curtain motor here, and MOIDS. And choose the device. For example, quick link curtain motor. And it's finished. During this time, oh, if I moved, I missed one. Why nobody find this round point? If I moved, here should be a movement, right? So needed to be a Boolean. So the Boolean and in this time also detects my movement, and also we need to use a and block here. So during this time, if motion sensor detects also, then output to comes here. Output to trigger to turn on the curtain like this. Here is a motion sensor, okay. And any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Like this. Any questions? Okay, one question. Oh. How about the reset? Do you need to link it? Yes, good. How about the reset? Here, the reset. Need to set reset port. If you forget it, what will happen? The delay time, what will happen? Good question. Output here, if input here to output to turn on. Oh, it will not count down again. If you do not reset here, the duration will remain zero. It will not count down from 120 the next day when you need to use this function. It will not be 120, but remain zero. Okay, remain zero. And also the reset, also output to the reset. Any questions? Okay, any questions? Very good. Harris, very good. Okay, here it is. Continue, okay. Delay on and also delay off. Delay off, they look very same, only the on and off different. You see, here is an off. The other thing is actually the same. Here is an off. And the delay off is a bit of different from the usual things user things. Delay off, delay for a period of time and to turn off something. The difference is that it will input 0 to trigger this block. Usually we will see that only if input 1 will it trigger this block, right? Usually we will say that 1 will trigger the block, 0 will not trigger the block. But this block is different, it's unique. the input here need to be 0, it will trigger this block. If it is 1, it will not trigger this block. Understand? And if input 0, the output will also be 0. Here is something not very, it's hard to understand maybe. The output port defaults to output 1. And when the timing reaches or exceeds the duration, the delay time here, the port will output 0. And it should not be put together. Input 0 will trigger this block. If you check input 1 here, it will output 1 here. Let's have a try just. Instance, if detect, motion sensor detects, turn on the light. If no detection for 30 seconds, turn off the light. It's very similar, right? Because the timer works very similar. The function is very similar to delay off. For example, motion sensor detects, turn on the light. Turn on the light, very simple, turn on the light. Motion sensor. Oh. Motion sensor. MI. And the device. We change one to use defect motion sensor. Okay, detected. So if defect motion sensor detects to turn on this light, so if no detection for 30 seconds, so here a question: no detection. Should we use a not block? Should we use a not block? Everyone, here think. Just think. Should we use a not block? And why? Usually we will see that no detection, we need to use not block, right? Sorry. We need to use not block, right? Should we use not block here? And why? If I use it like this, what will happen? What will happen? Who knows? It's a bit of difficult. Who knows? Who knows? We just say that, yeah, someone input equal 1, Masa. Thank you, Masa. Yes, you are right. Because that when no detection, it will input 0, right? And after the not block, it will output 1. Usually 1 will trigger the next block, right? But here is different. This block will only be triggered by 0. So if you output 1 here, it will not be triggered. It will not be triggered. It will not count down. So it will not work. It will not work. So in this time, we need to remove the no block. Directly use this block instead, like this. Input and no detection for 30 seconds. So here should be 30. Delay time 30 seconds. Output to turn off the light. One more question. Turn off the light. Usually we will use a device control, right? Device control. Oh. So here, should I use like that here? And I choose here as turn off. Should I use like this? And why? And why? So no detection here, countdown. After countdown, it will output what? This is a point. Will output what? when the time reaches, I explain it here, when the time reaches or exceeds the duration, the port will output not 1, but 0. So if it's 0, it will not trigger this port, right? It will not trigger this block. Do you understand? Is this clear? When this block, this delay off block is triggered, it will output 0, not 1, but 0. So if 0 will not trigger the device control block, so here we do not need to use the device control block. Instead, we need to set the light, set the switch directly on the output port. Here, set it directly, like this. Switch and choose. Like this. And it's 0, right? 0 means turned off. 0 means turned off here. So it will work in this way. Defend motion sensor if detects, turn on the switch. If no detection for 30 seconds, it will turn off the switch. Okay, let's have a look its function. Turn on, off. Okay, which one? This one. Oh, yes, this one. Run it. And we see the function here. Oh, sensor, no, no. Detected one, detected the to trigger the turn on, right? To no detection. Why there is one? Wait for a moment. Let me think. Oh, yes, it's right. This one will not trigger. You can see the duration does not become bigger, right? So this block actually is not being triggered. Oh, don't be trapped by this one number, okay? Okay, now the situation is that the default motion sensor detects, and this one becomes 1, and 1 will trigger the device control block. So the polar switch is turned on. Polar switch is not able to see the status because the indicator will not light on. I need to change device. Wait for a moment. I also bring dimmer motion control with me, so I change it. Okay, I change, save it. And let's see the motion sensor here. Oh, can you see that? The light is it's too bright here. Wait for a moment. I need to turn off the light. Okay, it becomes dark here. Now, can you see? Okay. Anyway, it is turned on now. Here is a little indicator. Okay, and if I turn off now, so if there is motion now, right? So if I turn it off, I turn it off, and it will directly be turned on again. See it? It was on again. Can you see that? Ooh, why? I can't do that. Oh, is it easier to just set a motion sensor as a trigger for a light switch instead of having? motion sensor as a trigger to a light switch instead of having to. Here's a question from Ola. He said that, isn't it easier to just set the motion sensor as a trigger for a light switch instead of having to build an AI? Yes, if you only want to set a trigger, like if motion detects, then turn on the light, then there is no problem, okay? But if you want to set that if no detection for 30 seconds, turn off the light, then the trigger will not able to do that, right? You need to use AIB. You can't achieve this function by trigger or scene or anything else, only by AIB, right? Okay, let's continue. So now, how to do that? Can you see that? Yes, it can be seen now. Okay, now it's on, right? The blue light you can see here. So if no detection, here is a motion sensor, and I move it away. It will be no detection. If no detection for 12, I think, and it will be turned off. It will start to count down. Let's see. Now it's no detection, right? It starts to count. And 9, 11. When it comes to 30, it will turn off this light. You can see now it's on. There is a light here, right? 19. Okay, do you hear that? Ha. Why there's, oh, I choose both. Okay. This is a function. And let me turn on the light for a moment. Okay, continue. Next, almost the last one is that device action. Actually, the action block, we have only 4 action blocks here, like device control, device action, AI action, UPnP action, only 4, right? We have already learned about device control, and now I will introduce the last 3. Device action. Device action is used to control something like spot, infrared remote control commands by spot, and camera rotation to move rotation. And 3, the audio playback only by spot smart station mini, like this. It's an alarm. And 4, the audio plus indicator light alarm by camera only. So it specified devices, only specified devices support this function, device action. And I can show you that, for example, turn on the AC, turn on the air conditioner by spot, then turn on the air conditioner device action, and click action, and click command to choose spot. And you can choose anything like turn on the air conditioner, turn off, turn on the TV, anything else. Okay, next, camera rotation, the command. You can see camera command here. And you can move it like left, right, up, down, center, stop, like this. For example, left. And device. If you need to use, if you set the camera command here, you need to choose camera here, okay? If you choose set camera command here, but you choose a switch here, it will not work, okay? And set the format. Choose from device, okay? There is camera and MOIDS. And to choose the camera, indoor camera, and it will turn it left. almost like that. And the other two is audio playback Smart Station Mini. It will play some sound. And this camera will play audio like B and indicator. The indicator light will flash red. And you can see there are a lot of commands here actually, but we usually will use only spot camera and the last two, audio command and sound light alarm command. These four, only these four. The other things are some background music and some air conditioners, some integrated devices. So basically, we will not need to use it. Okay, the device action, very simple. Usually we use device control most. So device action is for spot camera. And a question for you, because I faced such kind of problem from my customers. If I want to turn on the light of spot, if I want to turn on the light from spot, what should I do? Should I choose device action? Should I choose device action? Device control. Yes, thank you, Rudy. Harris, let me answer you later. Device. Okay, we are device control. As I introduced before, device action can only use infrared remote control. If you want to control something basic like light switch, although it belongs to spot, the light belongs to spot, but you also need to use device control. Okay, device control. And how? For example, device control. And the trigger. I said the trigger as, for example, switch. If I turn on which switch, if I turn on polar switch, then input output, you can set the device directly on it. If you are, if you don't want to use a Boolean, okay, it's a lazy way actually. It's a very lazy way, but it works. An action to turn the light of the spot on. So which should we do? Should we just choose turn on, off? Oh, the command is here. IO command on or off? On or off? Actually, no. If you choose turn on or off, it will not work. You need to choose RGBW. Maybe you will need to think RGB and RGBW, what's the difference? RGB only have R and G and B, red, green, blue. We are not able to set white. So RGBW, the devices which belong to RGBW need to be able to set white. So spot belongs to RGBW, not RGB, okay? RGBW. I made a lot of mistakes when I said it because I think it's RGB, but I tried, but failed. It did not work. And I asked my developer, asked my partner, they told me that need to use RGBW. So RGBW and action, the color. When you choose RGBW, you need to set the command here, right? You need to choose the color. But if you do not want to choose the color, okay, Masa, listen carefully. If you do not want to set the color, you can click save directly. And it will ask you to choose the status and you choose turn on. It's very easy, right? You may think that it comes out this page, then I must need to choose a yellow. No. Choose a color. No need. If you do not want to choose a color, just turn on it and keep the color of the spot. Then just click it here and it will show turn on. Okay, turn on. And then to choose the device, to choose the spot. And if you only have a few devices, you do not choose the format actually, to be honest, do not need to. You can directly find it in all of your devices. Because I have too many devices, so I need to set the format. Otherwise, I will not able to find the spots so quickly. And spot Wi-Fi. In this way, it will turn on the light of spot. Okay. In this way, it will turn on the light of spot. Okay. I need to thinking. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, next, the AI action. AI action. AI action. Just as it said, AI. Okay, question. Oh, okay. Got it. And AI action, as I said, AI. So it is used to control like AI. Scene, trigger. AI, what is AI? Chain. Scene, trigger, schedule, AIB. These two belongs to AI. Let's have a try. AI action. Okay, AI action. You can see the command here. There are a lot of commands, right? But if we just want to control the normal AI, we just need to use these three: trigger, pause, and resume. Trigger, pause, and resume. And there are some settings. Trigger. We usually see trigger only in scene, right? You will not say trigger in AIB. You will not, because nothing can trigger AIB, right? So trigger can scene. Only scene can use trigger, use this action. And pause. Scene cannot be paused, right? Once you start this scene, it will run once. You cannot pause it, right? Right? Am I right? So scene cannot be paused or resumed. Cannot be paused or resumed. It can only be triggered. And AIB, schedule. Schedule means from what clock to what clock. And the triggers can be paused and resumed. Have a try. Trigger, for example, trigger to trigger one thing. For example, just most simple, okay? Most simple to use a switch. You can make it difficult for complex. For example, if motion detects and also during what time to what time to trigger what AI like this. But I just want it to be simple. Okay, use a puller switch to trigger a scene, and you can set it in AI. You can see that AI. You can see smart. Smart means AIB. Smart means AIB, and scene and trigger. Okay, okay. Choose scene here. Choose scene here. MOIDS. And choose device, then you will see all the things in this smart station, all the things, and you can choose anyone, for example. In this way, when you click this switch, it will trigger this thing. It will work like this. And the another, for example, if I want to use AIB, if I want to pause this AIB, pause. Okay, and I need to set the format again. AIB, name the smart. So here, smart, MOIDS. So in this way, you can choose all the smart here. These are all the smarts in my smart station. A lot, okay, a lot. For example, anyone. Okay, in this way, when I click this switch, it will pause this AIB. Okay, the function is almost like that. It's very simple, right? Any questions? Any questions? No? Okay, and the last one, the last block named the UPnP block, UPnP action. UPnP action is rarely used actually, to be honest. And it's only for the Philips Hue. It's a light bulb and the Sonos. the background music, UPnP action. You can see here, control UPnP devices such as Hue, Wemo. Wemo is background music in China, so I will not introduce here because it's rarely sold to overseas. And Sonos here. And you can also see the action, the command here. A lot of play, pause, stop, next. These are commands belongs to Sonos to play the music. Play music, pause music, stop music like this. And the hue only turned on and turned off. It's a light bulb, so only turned on and turned off. Okay, it's also very simple. And choose a hue here. Okay, that's all of today's blocks. Any questions? Any questions about the blocks? Harris, a question from Harris about the camera. When I said it's left, well, it's have a try. Left. I haven't tried this. You can have a try. Well, it's for left totally or just partitional. A good question. I need to have a try. Oh, let's have a try now. So everyone, any questions? No question. If no question, let's move to the practice. Practice is that during 9 o'clock a.m. from to 7 o'clock p.m. in the working days. If motion sensor detects, then turn the lights on. If no detection for 5 minutes, turn off the light. Very simple. We talked about it twice during our course. And I want you to use 2 ways, at least 2 ways, okay, to achieve it. Have a try. The first way, use time limit, timer, and the device control. So the second way is use time limit and delay off. Have a try. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Yeah. 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. 2:31. 2:31. You can see the time here. 2:31. Okay. So let's have a try. Let me have a try. So now the camera is the front, okay? The front is in the medium, not left or not right, it's in the medium. Okay, let's have a try. If I click this, it will turn left, the camera. Okay, have a try. Okay, if I click, I think it's moved a lot. It's a 4 left, I think. 4 left, yes, 4 left. 4 left, okay. Whose question? Harris, it's 4 left. Hi, Harris, your question. 4 left or just partial movement, Just 4 left. Okay. The internet is not very good. Okay, did you finish this AIB? Quick, everyone, quick. Almost the time. I opened too much emulator. It got stuck. Okay. Okay, it got stuck. Turn it off. During finished. Let's check the answers. Okay. Timer. During time limit. Sorry, time limit. This one. During 9 a.m. 9 a.m. here. 9 a.m. Okay, to 7 p.m. 7 p.m.没有啊 9 a.m. Can you hear me? My partner does that if I lost my internet. Can you hear me? Anyone? I think it works well, right? Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Oh, a lot of people listen. Okay, good. 9 a.m. to 7 a.m. And in the working days, if motion sensor detects, it's already the practice we have already done. Okay, it's very simple. So to turn all the lights on, turn the lights on, turn the lights on. And if no detection, turn the lights on. And if no detection for 5 minutes, no detection for 5 minutes. First, use a timer. First, use a timer, right? See? Timer. No detection. And if no detection here. No detection, you need to use a not, right? A not. I will also make mistakes, okay? If I make a mistake, you just point it out. If not, link. Link, and the threshold, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 560, 300. Okay, 300 seconds. Turn off the light. And its output to turn off the light, right? Output, turn off, also device control. And link, yes, link to turn off the light. Like this. So here is a mistake. Anyone can find it. There is a mistake. If anyone can find it. I made a mistake in this template. Anyone? So the question is that during 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the working days, if detect, turn light on. If no detect, turn off the light, right? But here, I just said, you can see. I want to teach you how to read the template, okay? From the start, from here. During this period, and these are end blocks. So also motion sensor detects, then to turn on the polar switch, right? And the next from here is another way. If motion sensor not detects, then count down 3 seconds, to turn off light. What's the problem? What's the problem? If motion sensor no detection, should it have the condition that during 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the working days? Should there have a condition that during 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.? Of course it should, right? So here also needed to use and block here. So let me move it. If motion sensor no detection, also link it here. Also, it belongs to this period, right? So here need to link to here. Looks strange. Do you understand? Because when we see that no detection, it has a condition that it needs to belong to this time period, right? Otherwise, in the off work days, it will also no detection, then turn off. No, right? We only need it to be in the working days in this period. In output, like to reset. Oh no, here you can see that. Oh yes, there is an reset. Oh, a new mistake. Thank you. Reset here. Thank you, Trung. Thank you. Output to reset. Here output to start the countdown, and after countdown also need to set reset. You just remember that if there is a reset port, you must need to set reset. Here there is a reset, so you need to set it, or it will not work. Okay, so it is finished in this way. In this way. One more question. Everyone, thanks. Oh, bye. Thanks. And the next way, the time limit and delay off. Instead of timer, we use a delay off. If we use delay off, may I just delete it and create here, or I need to create one more AIB? It's up to you. I just create it here, okay? I delete it, okay? Okay, I delete. And here, if I use a delay off, here, okay. So if motion sensor, wait. Oh, here comes a problem. Of course, we know that I just explained that delay off will only be triggered by 0, right? So here, do not need a not block. Do not need a not block. Delete it. Okay, so if I link it like this, input delay time, I set it as 300, and 300 output. Should I link this? Should I link them together like this? Should I or not? No need. Yes, thank you, Rudy. No need. You can set directly on the output. Here, set it. The light. The polar switch. Okay, you can set it directly like this. Okay. And what's left? What's left? What's left? Everyone, what's left? What's left? Yes, reset. Thank you, Bruce. Reset. You need to link it to here. Why there is a the word from output. It covers this port. Okay, like this. And also one more thing, everyone, one more thing left. I want you to see the whole page. Like this. What's left? What's left, everyone? What's left? In this time period, if motion detects, then to turn on. And if no detects, where's the time period? Where is the time period? Here. No detection. The time period, where is it? That's the point. That's the problem, right? Do you get my point? No detection also needs this time period settings, right? But here comes a new problem that because delay off can only be triggered by 0, but the time period, the time limit block will output 1, right? So if I use an end block here, and I clear here. If I link it to here and link this output to here, will it work or not? Will it work or not? Because this block will only put 1, right? It will put 1 here, but no detection will output 0 here. So it will not output, it will not work if you use an AND block. So what shall we do here? What shall we do, everyone? Think. Move your brain. What should we do here? We need a 0 here, and this one also 0. But this one is 1. So we need to change this 1 into 0, right? How to change? How to change? Yes, not block. Very good, Blues. Very good. We need to use a not block to change this 1 to 0. So here, need to use a not block. Not block here, and clear it. And need to link to not block, and not block link to input. It should work like this. In this way, if during this time period, during Monday, during 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. and its working days, it satisfies this condition. And also, the motion sensor, no detection. Then there is 0, 0, right? 0, 0. But also one more question. Let me think. But 0, 0, we are not able to output 0 here. 0, 0. 0, 0, no detection. 0, 0. Yes, 0, 0 will output 0, but 0, 1 will output 0, 2. There's a question if we use in this way, there will be some problems. It will output 0, right? But if this, if here is 1, which means it's not in this period, not in this time period, it's in the, for example, off work days, it will output 0 here, and from the not port, it will output 1 here, and the 1 and the 0, it will also output 0 here. So this will not work, so it's wrong. Things become different, so not here. It should work like this. Let me create it and let me explain it to you later. Wait for a moment. Okay, here it is. Let me explain it for you. When motion sensor node detects, it will output 0 here, right? 0. And after a not block, it will become 1 here, And this block, it will output 1 if this condition is satisfied. So 1 and 1 output 1. 1 and 1 output 1. If 1 and 0 will output 0, right? Okay, by reason. And it will output 1 here, right? Output 1, but 1 cannot trigger this block. Only 0 will trigger this block, right? So not block again to output this 1 into 0. So you can see that actually this delay off is not very suitable in such kind of situation because it makes things much more complex, makes things difficult. So in this way, timer should be more suitable. Timer mode should be more suitable. Did you understand what I done just now to use double not? Why did I use it? Why did I use it? Do you understand? Because if we do not use it here, we use it here, then if we during this time period, it will output 1. And if I set a not here, it will output 0. Right? 0 and 0 will output 0. But if 0 and 1, if it will also output 0, that's the point. So it will have some possibility for that if it's not in this time period. If not in this time period, it will output 0, right? 0 and comes here. If there's not, it will become 1 and 1 to here. If motion sensor directs it here, 1 and 0. 1 and 0 will output 1. Will output 1. 1 and 0 will output 0. Sorry, 1 and 0 will output 0. So it will also trigger this delay off. That's the point. That means that even if not satisfy this condition, this block will work. It will be not such accurate. Okay. So here are these two ways, but as you can see that the first way is much more simple than the second way. The second way is not very suitable in this kind of situation. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? If no question, we will end today's course, okay? So move, thinking. A little homework is to think. According to the reason on the time limit page. On the time limit page, when I said that there is a terrible instance which will not work, that is, if I set it as turn on the light during 9 a.m. to p.m. and I use a time limit, it will cause smart station stuck because it will send a request to the switch all the time from smart station, right? It will make smart station stuck. And according to this word, please think the wrong point in, when motion sensor detects, turn on the light. So usually when I said when motion sensor detects turn on the light in AIB, I will use a Boolean, right? A Boolean and a device control. So the Boolean, it detects the motion. It will output 1 to trigger the device control to turn on the light, right? But the detect time, once you detect, the detection will not appear for a period of time. Do you know that? Once the motion sensor detects your movement, the movement will last for about 62 seconds, the default time. So in 62 seconds, the motion sensor will remain detected status, which means it will output 1 at all the time. So will it be a problem or not? If it is, how can we avoid it? Use what block? Okay. It's a thinking work. Okay, this is all of today's course. And I said that a few great learners sent me some homework of last course, right? Actually, there are several, but I choose the one. And want to see the run points with you together and not run it. The homework is like this. From Avis. Thank you, Avis. I didn't know if you are here or not, but thank you. And the description is, when motion sensor detected and luminance is below 100, turn the lights on. When motion sensor detected and also the luminance is below 100, turn the lights on. It's very simple, right? We introduced such kind of things in the last course once and once again, right? And let's see what did he done. He used integer compare, which we haven't learned in the last course. Okay, that's the one point. First, I need to say that you are very good. You have the courage to use that. You have not learned already, but so sorry. In such kind of situation, no need to do such complex. Okay, to do such complex. Motion sensor detects, only need to use Boolean, but the looming below 100 also can use the Boolean. So no need to use this integer compare. So here, I think that you may want to compare the luminance from, for example, environment sensor and with what kind of thing. And if your if what you want is just as simple as you described here, then no need to use this. If you want to compare between two environment sensors, then you can use this, okay? So the simplest is that use two Boolean. Two Boolean. One is for motion. Motion sensor, MI. And the next is for the luminance. For example, the luminance, is that luminance? Yes, luminance. So luminance sensor, MI, and choose a device. For example, motion sensor also have the luminance. You can use motion sensor directly or from other things like cube environment sensor. Below 100. Okay, below 100. Then, if these two conditions are satisfied together, so use and block. Use the AND block. And in this way, to do what? I forget, sorry. Turn the lights on. Okay, turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on can use device control. And to link it. To set the turn on. Turn on. The light. Switch. MOIDS. Okay, the light. For example, polar switch. I like polar switch. Okay, in this way, it was complicated. Let's see what did you done. Device action, the command. Device control. Yes. Integer. No need to use an integer. You can. You think that integer compare, then you think there need to be an integer. No need. You can set directly in the input, okay? You can set like this. You see, it works, right? Also, you can choose from environment sensor, just as you said, luminance. Then the luminance sensor. Oh no, sorry, luminance sensor, and choose a device. And you set it as an integer or another device also works. And if this one is greater than this one, for example, here should be 100. Here should be environment sensor. Okay, let me set it. It's not very important. If you have other things, you can just go. No problem. Okay. I'll set the format. I said it. I forget, sorry. Okay, and choose a device. Humidity. Did I say the humidity? Oh, sorry. Why? Luminous. MI. Yes, and to choose a device. Cube. And here to be. Oh, just clear it and set. Clear it. Oh, you need to set it again. Where? Not here. Once you clear it, the integer, the default luminance will just disappear. So you need to set it again, or just where? Oh, this one. It got stuck. Okay. Okay, here it is. Sorry, 100. And like this, just like Evis said, when motion sensor detect and luminance below 100. Okay, luminance below 100, below, so below. Here shall not be a device control because you need to satisfy these two, right? So it should be removed. This one should be removed. And here, a Boolean, yes, Boolean. Why did you set a command on the Boolean? Boolean is to define the change, not to do the action. So you should not set the turn on here, okay? Set it like you want the motion sensor to detect motion, right? So you need to format set motion sensor. It has rules, do not break the rule. Okay, and to choose a motion sensor detected. And in this way, if cube environment sensor is below 100, less, and motion sensor detects, use a and link them less, you need to less, and to turn on the light. Device control. Yes, the block is right. The block is correct, but the action is wrong. To turn on, right? Here, turn on or off. So big, turn on, off. Okay. Turn on. It should look like turn on, not 0000. If it look like 000, it means that you are wrong. And choose the device here. Choose light. Lights, for example, switch, MOIDS, and choose the whatever. Okay, like this. So you can see the difference between these two templates. This one is much more simple because I use a Boolean. But if you must want to use an integer compare, it also works, but it might be a bit of complex than the Boolean. You use the Boolean, just need to set one format and choose the luminance. But here you need to set two format and to link one line, right? So things become complex if you use integer compare, but also it can work. It can also work like this. This should be the rest. In this way it will work. Okay. Okay. So this is the homework. But anyway, although some format is not perfect enough, but this homework is very good. Okay. He used something we have not taught before, and also a quite complex template. Okay. It's better than those who had not hand on the homework. Okay. So any questions here? If no, we will end today's course. Any questions? I will send all these templates, share all these template link to the YouTube. Okay, one more thing, okay? Some of you do not know where to see the replay on the YouTube. And we send emails to explain it, but although we said, but also a lot of people ask us where can see the replay, and I answered once and once and once. I get tired, so I want to explain here for you. Support. Is it support? Yes, support. Why is the internet so slow? Move. Okay, I'm not here. Sorry. Where? I forgot. Sorry. Oh, quiz. No. Okay. Okay, thank you, Dami. Where? Not here. Oh, videos. Oh, yes, videos. Webinars. Here, you can see in the LifeSmart web official website, support. Click support. And after I click support here, you can see several things, right? The webinars. You can see all the replay here from January to now, today's, right? You just click it. For example, the last course, click it, and it will jump to the YouTube. Okay. In China, we are not able to see to watch the YouTube. You just click it, and it will jump to the YouTube. If you search on the YouTube, search LifeSmart, you will not able to see this replay because the replay only be available for our customer, not everyone on the YouTube. Okay, only in this way you can see the replay. Otherwise, if you search LifeSmart on the YouTube, you will not able to see these replays. It's secret. We keep it as secret once. Okay, understand? Thank you, Harris. You know much than me. Okay. Okay, this is all of today's course. If there's no questions, everyone, any questions? One minute. Okay, thank you, everyone. If no questions, thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Next AIB practice, also advanced practice, will be next week or the week after next week. I will decide. It depends on the speed of PPT. If I finish the PPT quickly, then we will have the course in the next week. If not, we will have the course the week after next week. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. 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 Bye.